Welcome everyone to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Appreciate you joining me as always. And right now I have some of my favorites, some of the best supporters for the Burgundy and Gold. They're with us right now. We're going to talk about a lot of things Commanders. And right now, as you can tell, I'm in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium where the combine is going on right in front of me. I can't let you see that, but however, there's been a big buzz in the building for the Washington Commanders, and all week long here in Indianapolis, people have been approaching me, saying hi to me. I actually tweeted that out today. I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, Lake, how you doing? Great season." And I don't know who that is. So that's the kind of love. And then, walking over here, I was walking with one of the team strength and conditioning guys, and he said the same thing. He said, "Man," he said he's going into his 16th season, and he can't believe the amount of love that he's gotten from people, as opposed to previous years where he said it was stuff like, "Are you good? You all right? You hanging in there?" Now it's a different vibe. So welcome, my friends. Welcome to the program. Do you guys get excited about the combine? And you guys can just chime in at any time, but do you guys get excited about the combine this time of year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
absolutely.
when we're like
Think
in the
so.
top 15, yeah, I do. I just don't know how to actually process this right now because, I mean, we're at 29. We don't know if we want to trade. We don't know if we want to trade back or.
Last
No.
4 years, no, because them picks have been terrible. So,
Except for last year. Except for
Sorry.
last year.
except for last year.
The combine
Well, I
kind of
mean-
sprung up on me, man. Normally, halfway through the season, we start thinking about this, but I didn't start thinking about the combine in the off season
Yeah.
until, the run was over. So it kind of sprung up on me, like.
Through
Think
Halloween,
about
we're
it.
talking draft picks normally.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the thing, like now I have people telling me, "Oh man, stop talking about trading, for Miles Garrett, he's almost 30 years old." I'm like, do you guys understand the window for this football team is wide open for a Super Bowl? And there are people here telling me that they expect them to be in the Super Bowl next year, like just without even having made a move. That's before you go out and you get a generational pass rusher. You go out and you get this guy. There's a reason why the Eagles are going to do everything they can to block that from happening, because the Eagles know it's about to be on with these two teams, and it's going to be a thing for the next decade or so. So now the wheeling and dealing that we see here in Indianapolis is literally for these two teams to kind of block each other from getting back to the promised land. So I'm excited about that. What I want to do, is throw out some things out there and, get your take on this and that. Get into it. This time of year, this team's always picking in the top 10, and I've always been looking for a savior. Well, last year with the number 2 pick, you get Jaden Daniels, and it changes everything, because once you have that quarterback position taken, it opens up the door for you from a free agency standpoint. It changes how you draft. My question to you guys is, and we'll start with Big Herb up here. Do you feel like this draft right now at 29, let's just say, they keep that 29th overall pick. Do you think it's the best player on the board they should draft, or should they specifically target a position of need?
Honestly, I feel like they should trade back. The reason why I'm saying is because you need to go ahead and build the rest of this team. Yes, you went to an NFC championship. That's great. That's awesome. There's so many holes that you need to fix. And what you have in one, if I'm not mistaken, you have a 1, 2, 3, a 6, and 2 or 3 sevens. You need more talent. You need to go ahead. If you ask me, I'm trading back to see if I could get multiple 2s, a 3, an extra 3, a 4, 5th, whatever I can get, and see if you can actually just push it through to see if you can get one more for next year. That's what I would push for, if you ask me, because it's so many pieces that you need to fill on this roster. You still need to get a defensive lineman, both DN and tackle. You still need to go ahead and get a running back. You still need to get a receiver. Oh, not to mention, you still got to protect your prize possession at quarterback with an offensive lineman. So if you're asking me, I'm trading back.
Okay, Josh, what do you got?
Herb kind of stole the words out of my mouth. I was thinking trading back as well, because, as much cap space as we have, we've got to build through that draft. And that's what Peters had said from day one. Day one, we're building through the draft. I don't think that I think he's in the best position that he wasn't sure he was going to be in this year.
Okay.
But trading back sounds pretty good to me. I'm flying the in Adam Peters I trust flag as high as I can fly it right now. Because
All right.
as well as
Okay.
last year, I can just see them. They're just smiling their way through.
They're being smart here. What do you have, Reggie?
Well, we're not in the Travis Hunter sweepstakes, so I agree. Trade back. Round 2 and round 3 is gonna be plenty of talent. Like the guys have already said, we need some beef. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Be nice to get another linebacker, knowing that Bobby Wagner ain't gonna be here for another 2-3 years. And of course, we need corners. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I got a feeling some of these next gentlemen coming up might flip the script on us. So let's go, Darian. Darian, you're on the clock.
You knew who to go to, didn't you, Lake? You knew who to go to. Hey, but listen, I'll say this, man. If last year showed me anything, it showed that the people in charge actually know what they're doing. So regardless of what they decide to do at the end of the first round, I'm gonna rock with it because I feel like they have the best pulse on what the team needs. They have the best pulse on the prospects available, and in an immediate fashion, they have proven that they know how to get the right players to fill the right holes, right? So if that means trading back, if that means trading up, if that means getting more depth towards the middle of the draft, we don't know. But at this point, man, they have proven to me, who I'm nobody, but they have proven to me and the other members of the fan base that they know what they're doing. So I'll rock with them, whatever they decide to do. And, hopefully to add to what we've already been building.
Okay. DJ.
Well, I love covering the draft here for us here at Sports Journey. And I tell you what, me personally, it really banks on what's going to be done in free agency. We know they did an excellent job in free agency last year of kind of rounding out this team and getting the guys that they need to. What they do in free agency will tell a tale of what they do in the draft. The defensive line and defensive tackle deal is loaded. I mean, this is a deep draft for defensive players. And personally, if you have a great offer, like Herb was talking about trading back and others here talking about trading back, I think if the offer is great, you do so. If not, you take the best available player on the board like you have been. I don't think you need to draft towards need so much for the simple fact there's a plethora of talent in those trenches. But I will agree with all who did say what they said here. And it's imperative. We've seen it with the Cowboys. We've seen it with other teams. We look at the Eagles. Their trenches are absolutely phenomenal. They have electrifying talent within those trenches. If you build the trenches first, the rest will take care of itself. And I think that should be the focus. That's your nucleus. That's your core, is the trenches. That's where the battles are won or lost. And if you got, with what you got at quarterback, could you imagine the Eagles' offensive line, that talent with Jaden Daniels and with the receivers that they had? They executed well with them. Could you imagine what you could do with that offensive line and still keep those receivers?
Yeah.
No,
Amazing.
DJ, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, DJ. No.
That would be phenomenal.
Undefeated.
All right, Brandon, you're up on the clock.
I hate echoing and sounding like everybody else here, but I mean, yeah, I think it is a trade up situation. And look, Dan Quinn's on the next man up kind of situation, and to build and to have that guy, that roster deep in AP. Look, I have no doubt in my mind AP's been cooking since the middle of the season. I'm sure he already has the nucleus set up of the flow chart of where he's going. I know he knows. He's not going to show his cards.
And the back.
There's going to be a big splash, and in free agency too, which is what, like a week or so, 2 weeks or something. It's
March
coming.
12th. Yeah.
And can you guys imagine as well? Can you imagine what the heck's going to happen on free? I mean, it's going to be a feed and fret. I think it's going to just crazy things are going to happen. So I'm in the camp of like, yeah, let's make some moves. I'm down with it. I want to see it happen because we need to.
Okay.
We got to build.
All right. Let's see, Brad, you're up.
I think, in my opinion, there's no like A+ start in this draft. I really don't think there is one. I think the caliber of talent you get at 10 you can still get that in rounds 2 and 3. So I think just leave it with AP. He's been cooking. But as far as free agency, I was doing some research. I think we have the team with the least amount of people signed. So a lot of that money is going to go to guys who we decide to re-sign, and we're not to pass our last ownership regime, and we just go spend money on the big names. So I think what we do is just leave it in. We got a genius at general manager now. Let that man cook and do what he does best. So whatever he do, I'm fine with, but I don't think we're gonna go crazy in free agency.
All right, so we have Philip up on the clock now. Philip, appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir. I make mine short and sweet. If we get Miles Garrett, I do scouting, and there's a D tackle named Jamari Caldwell out of Oregon, 6 feet, 344 pounds. I want someone like Ratliff for the Cowboys with D Ware. I want someone like BJ Raji when he had Clay Matthews. Get a space eater who's going to stop the run, who's going to disrupt the middle of the field, and let Miles Garrett do his thing.
Okay. All right. So that was short and sweet. And look, because we have so many guys on here today, let's try to really stay within like the 30-second realm of our answers, just so we can keep the conversations going and the topic matter going. So it sounds like you guys are all in consensus that, it's trade back or go best player on the board, and it makes sense. I just think that this is a football team, despite being in the NFC Championship game, they still have some holes that they're going to have to address. They also have a kind of a depleted roster right now because they signed so many guys last year to those 1-year deals. So you've got to decide, do you want to bring some of those guys back or do you not? Some of the names of guys that I've been checking out while I've been here and, looking at their measurables and the intangibles on the field, some of these guys may not be available in the first round. So I'm kind of leaning myself towards, if you don't use that 29th pick to try to get you Myles Garrett or maybe even a Max Crosby, I'm going to say this. I think you do trade back and pick up more capital because this draft is loaded as far as defensive linemen. This draft, has some really good, offensive linemen as well. The quarterback position is lacking, but guess what? We don't have to worry about that for a long time. So with that said, I want to throw this out at you. Were you guys surprised that Adam told us this week here in Indianapolis that they're allowing John Allen to seek a trade? Let's start in counterclockwise, the order that we just came from. So we'll start with Philip. Were you surprised by that at all?
He's mute.
Yeah, I think his signal's pretty bad.
Yeah, so we'll move forward to Brad. Brad, were you shocked by that?
No, I think last year's draft and drafting Johnny Newton, the writing was on the wall for one of them D tackles, and Allen was the one, especially with his contract situation, his age, and coming off the injury. No, I wasn't surprised at all.
Okay. All right. So let's now go to, and I'm sitting here switching, so you'll see my hand moving here because I can't see Brad on my screen unless I switch to his single screen. Let's go back real quick to Philip. Philip, can you hear me at all?
He's still muted.
Okay.
He's still muted.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back, I think.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. So the question was, were you surprised about the Adam Peters telling us here in Indy that they were going to allow John Allen to seek a trade?
No, because he's getting older and his contract is up. It will be up, and he hasn't been healthy, and he hasn't been playing the same. He's not the same John Allen that he was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna go even further than that and say, I mean, he's had like 1 or 2 good years, really good years at the money he's being paid. Unfortunately, when you're making that kind of money, you can't have good years, and you definitely can't have just 2 of them. So I do think it's time. And the beauty of all of this, guys, before we get some of your other answers, is that this goes to show you that these guys aren't resting on their laurels. It's if you don't produce, seek employment somewhere else. And I'm okay with that, because what this does is it tells the people who are in the building that what a move like this does by moving John Allen is it's putting a tremendous, super uber bright spotlight now on Deron Payne. And guess what? If you don't produce this year, you're going to be doing the same exact thing. And I'm cool with this, guys. I'm all for it. It breeds competition, no complacency. It's that look over your shoulder mentality because there's another guy waiting for your spot. That's what all the good teams over the years have done. That's what the Patriots have done when they had their run. The 49ers when they had their run. That's what Kansas City's currently doing right now. Look at how many players move on after each Super Bowl season. So let's get right over here to Brandon. What's your thoughts on the whole John Allen thing?
I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I kind of saw it like it was going to come. And I think what it does is it'll free up some money, I believe. And it just, look, and I think Adam's doing it. The team's doing it in a classy way. They're not making any bad blood about it. And they're pretty transparent with everybody. So I think it's a good move. We got what we got out of him, and he's not producing for what he was. I mean, he had a good last couple games, but I think, step it up to Duran and let's see what happens. If we can go to a team, good. We can bring in more talent.
Okay, DJ.
We've talked about this late, and it's been. I've been saying it for a long time now. It's time for him to go. He's just not producing at the rate and with what he's being paid. It's not worth it. And his numbers are good, so that means you'll get some decent value for him. But as far as, and I saw it this year, as soon as he got back on the field, he was showing he was the weakest link.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. All right. Darian.
Well, when you have competent leadership, they make competent, smart decisions. And I think this leadership is going to be a year too soon than a year too late. So when you see him going over the hill and you see that tide about to turn, that's when you get off. So I think them going to Indianapolis and announcing what they're going to do, I think it's doing them a favor, giving them an opportunity to go and get that train rolling. And I just think they're just making a smart business decision. In a better situation, they probably would love to keep him, but it's business, never personal.
And I'm sorry if every now and then you see me glance up. It's just that on the jumbotron because they're running their 40s right now. There's been some Blazers. So
it's corners today, right? Is it corners?
Yeah, it's D-backs right now. Yeah.
Tight
ends come up a little bit later. So I gotta see my dude Ty Warren. We won't be getting him, but I still got to support my Penn State guys. So all right, so let's go, Reggie. Reggie, your thoughts on John Allen?
Nice when he was here, but he's a little long in the tooth and not producing for the money he's paid. If we get a 5th rounder, I'd be surprised, honestly.
Wow, that's.
I mean, who's going to give us a 2 or a 3 for him? I mean, how many years does he have left to play?
But see, that's why I think the way Adam Peters and these guys are set up. I think the John Allen trade, I don't even know if it's for picks. I think it's to be the extra body with your first rounder to be able to go out and make a big move. And that's why I think it makes sense. Josh, what you got?
My grandmother, God rest her soul, biggest piece of advice she ever gave me was there's 2 things in life that you got to go by. The golden rule, be kind, right? And 2, the word next. Bad relationship, next. Bad job, next. Bad performance, next. It's plain and simple. It's just business. Like Darian said. It's nothing personal. I love John, but he the writing was on the wall. And it's time to roll. And I don't think that I do think he's going to be that body that goes with the picks, to get somebody else. And I wouldn't be too surprised if he was in Cleveland if they wear Cleveland down.
Makes sense to me. All right, what you got, Big Herb?
Okay, so when I was 17, I had a supervisor, and his name was Tony. God rest his soul. He was really cool, and the one thing he always told me about, this is a business. When you do business, you have to think. You have to think logical. You have to think for the good of the team or the franchise. This situation, Peters, dude, you got to come over there and think best for the team. I love John Allen. Think he's good for the team. The only issue I had with him is wearing the do-rag, cussing at ESPN, and him jumping on the train, the bus in the beginning of Tampa. Those are the only 2 issues I've ever had with him. But production-wise, dude, you haven't put up the same Pro Bowl numbers that you did before. You need to go ahead and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on the field. You haven't produced in the last few years. It's nothing personal. Just like Darren said, and just like Nino Brown said, it's business. Never personal.
Never personal. Now we're gonna strip you down and walk you up the street naked because that's what,
I mean,
Nino did.
I'm not gonna go ahead and off him on the top of the building like Nino did, but at the same time, dude. And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Minnesota want him too? So I mean,
I heard that too.
Yeah. So I mean, go ahead and try to go ahead and get some picks for that.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I think right now this is going to be one of those off seasons where you can finally just sit back and watch the magic happen, watch what they do, and understand nothing's going to be done in a knee-jerk reaction. It's all going to be part of the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is to make this thing sustainable for years to come. When I talk about that window, being open, it's slightly open. It's not coming down. It's slightly open going up to be wide open. And a move like a Myles Garrett will get you going over. And I've had some people, this week when, since we put that stuff out on Tuesday talking with Adam. Oh, and by the way, not to stray here, but I do got to tell this little story. For anybody out there thinking that, my reports on Adam and Ben Johnson and all that stuff, let me just tell you, man, when Adam saw me the other day, he came down and hugged me flat out. Like, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you. How you doing? I'm good. Hugged me in front of everybody. And so that's what I'm saying. If somebody was mad at me, I wouldn't have got what I got, right? So with all that said, I trust Adam, and he knows what he's doing. And it's no coincidence that San Francisco's moves kind of backfired on him. And his moves this year, this first year in Washington, actually look pretty damn good. That's what you're dealing with this guy. The one thing I do want to say to you guys, and then we'll get on to the next question, is that, man, when I even walking over here, like I said, with strength and conditioning guys, just to hear the words coming out of their mouths, and then to hear what Dan said to us this week and what Adam said to us, it's almost like they Xeroxing the same sheet of paper and giving it to everybody. It's what is a commander? It's Adam, saying, how do you carry yourself? How do you do things when no one's looking? And then you hear Dan Quinn telling us, it's his exact words was, all we care about is how you get down. That's like music to your ears, because it tells you that everybody's on the same page. And as Terry McLaurin said, it's a non-negotiable. You got to fit it into the culture of the locker room. We've never heard this kind of rhetoric. And that's the reason why there is not going to be a fall off. And most of these people here in Indianapolis right now are feeling that. It's almost like you how you sense something around you, you sense something great. That's what's going on here. For them to be showing us, honestly, just so you guys know, just 438.
Kind of muffled. We could barely hear you.
438.
Okay, so 438. Nick Amanawari from South Carolina just ran a 438.
Jesus,
that's lightning.
I mean, yeah. Maxwell, yeah.
Faster than his first attempt.
He's 6'3", about 2 something. He's 6'3", 200 and some pounds.
Yeah. So let me tell you, yesterday, James Pearson, when he ran that thing in here, it was electrifying to see a defensive lineman run a 4.4. I mean, it was moving. Like, you could just see him taking just strides, and it was unbelievable. So that's a name you got to keep an eye on. So now let's get into this, guys. As far as some names out there, I'm going to throw some names out. You guys let me know yay or nay. Okay. You can try to keep your answers for this to just 30 seconds. Okay. So that way, because I have like 3 more topics I want to cover with you. So I'm going to throw a couple of names at you. You guys tell me yay or nay, and we'll start. We'll go back the same direction. So we'll start with Herb on this. Okay. Deion Walker, defensive lineman from Kentucky. He's 6'7", 340 pounds.
I'm gonna pass. I'm thinking about that kid from Marshall more than him.
Okay. Okay. All right, Josh.
I'm with Herb on that one.
Okay.
Marshall,
All right.
yeah, I like that kid from Marshall.
Okay, Reggie.
I do not know anything of him other than he's 6'7". So yeah, he can pass. He can block a pass, but what else? I don't know.
Okay. All right, Darian.
Hey man, in this league, size matters. So if you're able to get a run stuffer with that type of size, and he's the best available on your board, take him. So I'm with whatever they decide to do.
Just so you guys also know, he has some of the best shuttle drills out here. He's quick foot. He's a guy that you can move to the defensive end. He possibly could be a better defensive end if you ask me, because he has that kind of footwork and speed. So that's going to be something. And I know DJ's a guy that covers these guys. So DJ, what do you think?
I was going to say the same thing. The guy has great footwork, and what lacked for Washington was setting the edge. I would take him.
Okay. All right. Brandon.
I saw his press conference. I think you were or somebody was talking to him from the team. It was yeah. And I never knew him, didn't know him, but he interested me because of his size. But I know our history with Kentucky players, so we let one go.
And by the way, and the fact that he said to me, he was like, "Yeah, and you guys have my guy, Jamin Davis," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah,
not anymore. Not anymore.
He's not aware.
But that's okay though. I gave him a pass because that can mean he's locked in to the point where he hasn't followed other people. He's worried about his own craft. So I'm gonna give him that. Give him that pass. All right. So Brad, what you got? What you got?
I say take him if you're there. When you got guys that tall, they usually look kind of clumsy. And I watched his feet. He got quick feet, real quick,
super quick feet.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, Philip, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you. Give me Jihad Campbell or James Pierce. I want an edge rusher.
Okay. All right. So not bad. Name at you. Did I mute my microphone?
You're good.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna throw another name at you guys, and this is the guy that I'm extremely high on, and I think he will be there. You hear it, you're gonna be like, really? All right. I'm gonna go give me the kid Harmon out of Oregon. Derek Harmon. All right. So let's start with Philip. Derek Harmon. Would you take him?
I would take him. Beast. High motor, beast. Say he's the same. He's a clone of the D tackle in Kansas City. So
absolutely, that's his comp. His comp is Chris Jones. So that's a good call right there. All right, Brad, what you got?
Pull the trigger. If you're there, I say take him. Get him.
All right. Okay. So we got a double dose right now of everybody saying yeah. So let's go, Brandon. What you got?
Dog, go for him.
Okay. You already know being out there on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Cali kid. Okay. So
he's a dog.
DJ, what you got?
Definitely. This cat has a nasty bull rush. His read and recognition skills are just off the charts, and his abilities jump right off the screen. So yeah, man, that man is just dangerous.
Okay. All right. Darian.
Man, I see some projections where they have him going 24. He's the 4th overall at that position. If he's there at 29, you can't pass on him. So go ahead and take him.
Okay. All right. There we go. Reggie.
Sounds like he gets down like a commander. So I said we take him. Yes.
I like that. All right, Josh.
I haven't seen this kid play, but I will trust what everybody else here says. So take him.
All right. And Herb.
You need to stop the run. So I don't care if you can find a DN, tackle, whatever it is you can to stop Saquon Barkley. Since they want to block us, I want to block them from getting in the end zone. And this kid is talented as hell. I mean, 6'4", 313, and could move.
And does both. He can great run stuffer and also a great edge rusher.
Yes.
Exactly. Why not? if he's available, shoot. Take it.
All right, and I'm gonna go even more further. The one thing about him is that going into the 2024 season, there was grumblings that he could be the top pick in the draft. You know, they clearly was a top 10 projection, but they were saying that he could be if he had a magical season, like kind of like an Abdul Carter, he could be the guy. And he got hurt, missed that first Ohio State game, but was hurt for a good portion of the year, and just things happen. He still was one of only two Power 4 defensive linemen to have a Pro Football Focus grade of 80 in both categories, rushing and tackling. The other guy was Mason Graham. So I'm saying right now, if he were to be even at 26, 27, I can see Washington moving up to get this guy, because I think he's going to be an absolute steal for whoever gets him. So that's the guy that I'm looking at big time here.
Outside of his intangibles too, what's most important, and you'll hear guys like Pat Kerwin talk about it. And if you watched Washington's D-line last year, especially on the edge, is in this league they like to grab you, and he's got nasty, thunderous hands. He can break away from that, and that's what was missing. So all of his stuff is very important for what Washington's trying to do.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so one of the other things I wanted to get from you guys is that when you guys are watching the combine, are you guys more interested in the 40, or are you more interested in like the shuttle drills or some of the other things, not the pageantry of the 40? Everybody wants to see who's got that kind of speed. But as I've said, when you're looking for tackles and offensive linemen, 40 times don't really mean much to me, because first of all, if you're a defensive lineman and we need to worry about your 40, that means that somebody's going to the house on you and you're looking at their back. So we'll go back here to Philip again. What's one of the things that you look at when you watch the combine?
Depends. If I'm looking at the DBs or wide receivers, 40, and if the DBs, I'm looking at the shuttle, the cone drills to see with fluidity in their hips, and see how good their footwork is.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. Brad, you're up.
Depends on the position, really. I know oftentimes that 40 gets overblown. You have a fast guy, but he can't tackle, right? You have a fast guy with no intangible. So it depends on it. But I just look at that shuttle drill and how these guys move their feet for what we need. That's what I look for and look at, rather.
Okay. All right. Brandon?
Yeah, I'm pretty much what Brad was saying. I think with all O-line guys, you got to look at their hands, how they move, because if an O-line guy can run 40 somewhat, that's great and all, but like you said, he's not really mostly running downfield. He's getting backed up. But I think the footwork and the hand drills that's what I'm mainly seeing, because we know wide receivers, they're fast.
Absolutely. And you gotta be able to get a hand on somebody. All right, DJ.
Yeah, definitely not 40 times, because some people, a lot of people can be fast in t-shirt and panties, but when you put pads on a guy, that changes everything. So you definitely gotta have footwork, your technique. How is that? And because the fundamentals is what makes great players. Speed, man.
Right. All right. So Darian.
Man, what's the Adina Howard combine? You talking about t-shirt and but no, man, like all the intangibles and all the workout stats, this is great. But man, as a coach, I look at how they interact with others. I look at the camaraderie that's built when they're running drills. I look at how they interact with the coaches. I look at how they respond to coaching and technique. That's what I'm looking at, because if you could play, no matter what they measure out there in Indianapolis. So I'm looking at everything else that's not being measured out there on the field.
Okay. All right, Reggie.
I'm not much for the underwear Olympics. Honestly, I would love to be able to have feeds of the interviews that the coaches have with these players to see how they respond under pressure. You got people peppering you with questions, and then draw this on the board, and why do you do that? And what's this guy's role when you're over here? I'd rather see that, to see how they think football.
Okay. All right, Josh.
Yeah, great answers, guys. Yeah, my dad, when he coached footballs, he just said, footwork fundamentals, and how you, like what Darian said, how you respond with your teammates. Look at Terry.
That's brilliant.
You want a guy, all around guy like Terry. that everybody loves and wants to be with. Same with JD5, but fundamentals is key. Those hands, right, DJ, the hands.
Big Hurt.
So Reggie kind of took my thunder a little bit, because I mean, after what we seen in what's the name of it, Hard Knocks last year, I kind of want to see what the hell they talking about on the drawing board. I want to see. I mean, the first people who I think of in this is like guys like Lender Fletcher. Guys been playing for what, 15, 16 years. I want to know where your head is at, because when when your speed diminishes, you still need to be in position. I want to know, do you know what you're supposed to do in this situation? Your brain is going to tell you where you need to be. Your athleticism, it'll do you for a couple of years, but how long is it going to happen?
Those are all great points. And you know what's crazy is that on Wednesday, yesterday actually, with Dan Quinn, we said that one of the things that they're looking for that's important is, with all their guys, he wants to see leadership. They want to see that leadership quality, that trait that, embraces everyone in the locker room, gets along with everyone in the locker room, but also someone that can step up in the locker room, and things that clearly this team was devoid of until they got here, So I think any of these players that we're talking about, or a player that you may have as a favorite from a skill set standpoint, if that guy is not a high character leader, you can forget him being on the football team. I don't care if he has a 4.140. If he's fast and yet is not approachable, not likable, he's not going to be on the Commanders football team. And they've made that very clear. So that's always a surprise thing. All right, so look, guys, this next one, and this will be our last thing. I'm not going to hold you guys all night. I know you guys can do this with me all night, but I do got to get to some stuff here in a second. So this one's to have some fun, man. Okay, so this question: the uniform supposedly is going back to more of the traditional look. I still think they're gonna tweak it a little bit, but it's gonna be more of the old school look. Yay or nay, and also the second part of the question is, despite the uniform change, it's a yay or nay if you like it or not. The second part to the question is, do you keep the black uniform compared to the alternate uniform? Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna start this time. We're gonna go the way we ended. We'll start with her.
First off, never get rid of the black ones. Those are the best ones out of the three. Everything looks good in black, baby. That's all I gotta say as far as that. But as far as like, look, but as far as the unis is concerned, I like this one, the one that you had for the 75th anniversary. If you could try to bring that one back,
and
his thing, I know that people ain't gonna always agree with this. I think the ones that we had in the past was basic as, you know what? I like the burgundy joint with the spear. That one was my favorite one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Josh.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I'm all about the black uniforms, 100%. I'd like to see them in 4 games if we could. I just think they're scary. But the spear, yeah, give me the spear all day long. We gotta have some representation. Old school representation.
So what if they were to? Well, you know what I was thinking. What if you change the black unis and you put a spear in that? Kind of modernize that black uni. But the problem is that would look like Arizona State.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, that would.
I'm not opposed to that.
You said you're not opposed to it?
I'm not.
Dayton would like it because it would look like his old Arizona State setup.
And if he plays just the same, I'm all with it.
Okay. All right. Well, what you got, Reg?
Honestly, Leg, I don't care what the jerseys look like as long as they're winning.
Yeah.
They can wear Tampa Bay creamsicles for all I care, as long as they're winning.
No, you didn't mean that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Darian, what you got?
Man, you know what my guy Coach Prime said: if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good, baby. Trust me. So this is what I say, man. I think you got to do something with the jerseys to kind of appease the old fan base. And then with the newer fan base, but I'm a part of this newer fan base, man. Like, really, I love the new jerseys and everything they got now. So giving a nod to the past, I'm all with it. And as long as we keep winning, like I said, man, I don't care. Everything is gonna look beautiful when we play.
All right. Okay. DJ.
You know, I'm with the uniforms that they had when Robert Griffin III was here, where they had the logo on the shoulders
With the brown leather helmet.
Yeah, with that brown leather helmet look. Take away the helmet though, but I like the uniform color. They have variations of those colors as well, and you always keep the black. The black's the best uniform that they've got, and they actually have lived up to that black uniform this year.
That's
So
Chicago.
definitely would keep that one.
All right. Brandon.
We all agree black uniform it's king. It's king. I have 2 jerseys in a black uniform. I love the Spear uniform retro, and I also love the one with the R on it. I love the color combos that they had, the old school when they used to have the R. So if they can somehow incorporate the Spear and the R, or maybe even do a combo on the black, like maybe gold pants, black jersey. I don't know. Something, just flip the script a little bit. But definitely we do need the white jersey. Not my favorite at all. I'm not a fan of that jersey at all.
No.
Okay. All right. All right, Brad.
Well, I'm agreeing with everybody else. Those black, that's cold. That black. I was a fan of the burgundy pants with the stripe in the white jersey. I kind of like that though. So if we can just bring a little bit back and get the fans, in touch with that, I'm cool with that. But just like everybody else said, would it matter if we was 3-13 again?
Nah.
It wouldn't matter what the color jerseys is. As long as we winning, it don't even matter. We gonna rock them regardless though. So that's where I'm at.
I like it. And then Philip, what you got?
Keep the black jerseys, and let's get the 75th anniversary jerseys. And if the Spear's offensive, just put the W on there, and I'm good.
Okay. All right. That's clean. All right. So before this up, I want you guys to you guys can hear me, right? Because it says my thing is muted. Okay. All right. So before we wrap this up, I want everyone to just let the viewing audience know where you are right now. Not like I'm home. I mean, like, the town you're in. And then also give everybody your social media handle so that we can get you some love. Okay. All right. So Herb, you're up.
Yeah, my name is Big Herb from Off the Bench podcast. I'm located in the DMV area. I'm on off DA bench _HTTC on IG.
All right, and then Josh.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, in Minnesota, and J Skinny G on Insta, or you can hit me up at Expedition Band MN.
All right, just a musician, folks. Yes, sir. All right, Reggie.
I'm in North Carolina, and my Instagram is What Did I Eat or Cook? I like to eat, man. I like to cook.
No, this is that
explains everything.
A legit chef cook, man, and every time. So I'm dieting, man, and I lost literally over the last 2 weeks. I lost 14 pounds. Man. So I can't look at your page right now, Reg.
We link up, man. I get you some brisket, some beef ribs.
Even thinking that gonna put me to sleep. All right, Dorian, what you got? Darian, what you got?
Hey man, y'all can hit me up on Instagram and Threads. D Will on the mic. I'm off X. Shout out to those guys, man. I ain't giving X no love right now, but it's okay. If you do decide to hit me, it's DH on the mic over there. But also YouTube, you can search Breaking Command ENT, Breaking Command Entertainment on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow me. Thank you. Thanks again, Lake.
AKA Coach Prime.
All right. And then DJ, you're up, brother.
You can Not Bland on everything. You can follow the show at the Not Bland Show on YouTube, and of course, you can follow the work that we're putting forth on sportsjourney.com.
All right. And then Brandon.
Originally from the DMV, but now representing out in Los Angeles, Commanders fan. I'm on IG at BCOXDP. That's me. I work in the film business and a cinematographer. You can check my work out on my Instagram page.
All right. Brad.
Right. B_Quincy on IG. I'm in Detroit, Michigan. Hey, man, it's great to be in here with you guys Friday, man. Shout out to you, Lake. Always, brother. Salute you.
Oh, thanks you. And then Philip, what you got, brother?
With Neil Stratton inside the league, scout company. I'm getting my social media and everything up and right now, so it's coming.
All good. That's all good. All right. Well, look, fellas, man, just as always, I greatly appreciate all the love and support that you guys continue to give me, and hopefully I'm helping you on your platforms. Anytime you guys want me on there, that'll be fine. And listen, man, this was a first for me. I know it's not the full normal setup and all that, but just so people don't think I'm throwing a green screen up there, I got to let this guy finish his drill real quick before I turn this around. Just to let everybody know it's real here, man.
Yes, we're envious of you, Lake. Yes, we are.
They're performing, man. It's all good, man. Listen, you say you're envious, but when you're getting up at 8 o'clock and coming into the convention center first for the interviews, and then at 3 o'clock you come over here to the stadium, and in the stadium it's this goes on till 8:30, 9 o'clock. And it's been like that
Long
every
day,
day.
man.
I've been here
That's a
since
long
Tuesday
day.
morning, and I'm here till Sunday night. So, but I'm not complaining. I love what I do, man. I love interacting with you guys, and you
It
guys,
shows.
you guys motivate me
does.
to do this. So,
Yeah.
much love and support, and we'll do this again. If you guys are down for Friday, Friday's your day.
It's
So if
on.
you guys are down
It's
again
on.
next Friday.
I've already signed the paper as far as like trying to get on. So I mean,
I sent the contracts earlier. We're good.
All right, so next Friday, and then
the paperwork's in the mail, baby.
and just so you know, Debo's meeting with the team this week. So
I did. I saw that.
tomorrow. So yeah, so maybe by next Friday we'll have something in play, and we'll get you some more information. But as always, folks, you're watching right now. Appreciate it if you're listening to this via Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. It's on there now. I think Sirius on there. It's picking up and picking up because of guys like yourself. So we're gonna do this again real soon. And for everybody out there, appreciate you joining. Remember, subscribe. If you haven't done so, hit that red button right there. And we'll continue to pump out some good information for you and content. So guys, I appreciate you, man. Good part of the family. Have a good weekend, and we'll do this again next week. Okay.
Likewise.
Thanks,
Okay,
Lake.
guys.
Yes,
Thank you
indeed.
so
Yeah.
much.